PopCultureZone.com is an online shop focusing on hot new comics, including exclusive and incentive variants, CGC graded comics, and tons of other inventory, including pop culture toys and other collectibles, all at low and competitive prices. PopCultureZone.com ships all over the US. And if you are buying raw comics, they offer flat rate shipping of only $4.99. That's right, $4.99. Absolute craziness, right? And there's no taxes included, excluding New Jersey. Pop Culture Zone is also on eBay, where they hold a 100% positive feedback rating with over 8,000 completed transactions for this year alone. Make sure to check out the link to their website below, as well as their eBay link, so be sure to give them a follow there as well.
What is going on, everyone? Chris with Journos, Comics, and Pop Culture. Got an awesome video today looking at 5 modern comics that could explode over the next 5 years. So we're going to dive into detail with these 5 books. But before I get into it, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please take the time to do so and check out all the awesome links below, including how you can become a Patreon member of the channel for only $3.99 a month. And you can also become a YouTube channel member for only $1.99 a month. I'm going to be giving a big shout out to all of my channel members at the end of the video. Now, before we get into the books, it is, as always, A1 Wednesday, one of my favorite days of the week. So I got to give a big shout out to A1 Comics. And you know what A1 does every single week. If you aren't following them on Instagram, you guys are missing out. Their information is below as well. Check out their links. Follow them on IG. Check out their website, a-1comics.com. They do weekly Instagram sales. So there is one tonight because they're live every Wednesday. That starts at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 Eastern, obviously. And they're also live every Friday on Instagram, 5 p.m. Pacific time as well. If you have Twitch, you can catch them on Twitch every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm telling you, if you're not following A1 Comics, you're missing out. They ship all across the states, and they have amazing sales. Look, half the time, I'm just watching the sales just to hang out because it's fun. So again, check out their information below. Give them a follow on IG. Also, if you're in the Sacramento area, A1 Comics is always buying comics, Pokemon, Magic, trade paperbacks, pulps, toys, statues, original art, and more. You do see the information there to contact. If you have comics for sale, you can contact Lanvin. That is his email right there. For cards, contact Christian. You can always give them a call. And again, visit their website, a-1comics.com. All right. Everyone wants to know about these 5 books. So, look, as I always say, these are 5 books that I'm bringing to the table because of what they've been doing on the market already, or we're taking factors and variables of why these books can absolutely soar over the next 5 years. So let's just get into our first book. This is Batman, number 4. Volume 2, this is the New 52 run. This is the first full appearance of the Court of Owls. So this book is already a decently sought out book. We're going to look at the values here. It's nothing crazy. CGC 9.8 fair market value sitting at about $140. The highest raw sale sits at $33, and your average raw sale sits at about $13. Now again, I like to explain what average raw sale means. It doesn't pertain to grade. So when you look at a modern book like this, there's probably not too many low grades on the market. So you just got to kind of take that average raw sale with a grain of salt. Maybe you could get a high mid-grade for around that price. If you see that like a near mint high raw copy is probably selling for about $33. So the thing about this book is I love the Court of Owls. I read this run, and although I got a little bored of it, later on in the run, the whole Court of Owls story arc was probably one of my favorite Batman story arcs ever. There have been Easter eggs and rumors with the Matt Reeves Batman film hinting at a Court of Owls coming into play. Now, I know that the DCEU and what Warner Brothers is doing with the DC properties hasn't nearly had the effect of what Marvel Studios and the MCU has done when it comes to speculation and when it comes to characters and story arcs being brought into their films or their TV shows. I mean, we've seen how crazy it is with like White Vision. Just anything that shows up in the MCU just catches fire. We haven't really seen that happen with DC stuff, but I'm going to tell you something right now, and this is just my personal opinion. I have a good feeling about the Matt Reeves Batman film. I do. Now, regardless of if it somehow correlates to the DCEU that's a complete hot mess right now or not, doesn't matter to me. I do believe we're going to get a trilogy from Matt Reeves. I'm hoping for at least a trilogy. And if they bring Court of Owls in and they do it right, I definitely think that this book is going to spike in value. All right. Again, that's just my humble opinion. So you never know, but that's what I'm betting on. Now, I always say I'm not here to tell you guys to go buy these books. I will never tell you to go buy a book. But if for me, now I do own this book, but if I could find a copy of this book in a decent higher grade for $20 or under, again, you look at the price value on that, that's a very low risk investment, and look, if you haven't read the story, it's a good story arc. So this is something that has a lot of potential to increase in value, and you're not going to be putting a lot of money out, to where if you take a loss or it doesn't increase in value, it's not really going to hurt. But again, buy what you love. If you enjoy Batman as a character, if you love the story arc, or if you're willing to take the risk of the investment, then go right ahead and do what you do. But with that said, let's get into book number 4. Spider-Gwen, number 24. All right, this is the first appearance of Gwen. This book has gotten hot already. So let's look at these numbers. CGC 9.8 fair market value, sitting at about $206. I do think that fair market value is a bit skewed right now because of how hot this book has gotten over the last month or so. High raw sale already sold for $240. Yeah, that's higher than the CGC 9.8 fair market value. So you could probably see that, and I say this a lot, fair market value fluctuates. It can go up and down with a snap of a finger. It could be different tomorrow than what it is today or a week from now. All right. So an average raw sale right now with this book is sitting at $130. Definitely a harder one to find in that near mint 9.8 because of the black cover. Look, Spider-Gwen is already getting a lot of heat under her simply because of her character. Introducing into the Spider-Verse, that new generation is coming into these characters. We've seen what Edge of Spider-Verse 2 has been doing, just been on fire. So you look at a lot of her, kind of key books or hot books, and this is one of them. And I think this is something that can possibly show up in and Into the Spider-Verse. You never know what they could do. But look, I am one that is a true believer of these characters, the Into the Spider-Verse characters, Miles, Spider-Gwen, coming into the MCU later down the line. And wouldn't it be crazy if we got to see a Spider-Gwen take the Venom symbiote on? Wow. So look, it's not like there's a lot of live action speculation on this, but regardless, this book has already been hot, and I do believe that this trend is going to continue over the next 5 years. Again, that's my humble opinion. But we're going to move on to book number 3. Now, I talked about this book. I showed this book in my top 20 modern books to invest in. I'm all in on Yara Flor. I am. Future State, Wonder Woman number 1, first full appearance of Yara Flor. I mean, look. There's no books on the census right now that I was able to retrieve. But a high Ross copy of this book is already sold for $38. All right, and I think this is a $5.99 cover price one because some of the future states were more, some of them were $7.99, some of them were $3.99. I do believe this was a $5.99 one, and average Ross sale right now sitting at $13. So look, already this book is gaining traction. People are paying close to $40 for a high raw copy. This has nothing to do with speculation regarding DCEU or live action or TV shows or anything. I just absolutely am on board with this character. I know there's a lot of mixed reaction within the hobby, within the community of, so many different people coming in and taking the same mantles. And it's just like, well, why don't we create their own characters? Well, we understand that the Wonder Woman mantle, you know, they're Amazonians, and ultimately Yara Flores taking on the Wonder Girl mantle, right? So she is her own character, just like Miles was done in such a great way that, yeah, he's a Spider-Man, but he's his own character, and you could differentiate from Peter Parker, just like we can differentiate Yara from Diana. So I'm just so on board with this character. And I've talked about this before, and I'm going to say it again, and I'll probably say it again and again. Not only so far has the writing behind her character been amazing, not only has the artist or the art been amazing with Jones penning the Future State 2-issue series and doing the artwork, she's absolutely just killing it in my opinion. But the character herself is really attracting a global and international market base. And this is something that Jim Lee talked about last year at Fandom. People, so many people want to focus on it's not just about like, oh, we need to diversify characters because of their ethnicity. Let's diversify characters because we want to show that not superheroes don't just exist in the United States of America, right? Superheroes aren't just an American phenomenon. They are global. And I think that this character is going to continue to pull in that weight. So that's why I have this book on this list, because I think this book is going to be one that's going to continue to be sought after over the next few years. All right, let's move on to book number 2 on the list. This is Spider-Man #1. This is the first Peter Parker and Miles team up. That is the Peter Parker from the 616 universe. Because, spoiler alert, if you didn't know already, the Peter Parker from Miles' universe unfortunately passed away. So let's look at these numbers. The CGC 9.8 fair market value, $80. That's it. High raw sale, $20. Average raw sale, $15. So again, this is a book that is extremely affordable. We know that all things Miles has been getting hot. So look for this book to pick up steam simply because of that. But that's not just why I have this on this list. I believe that this book, being the first team up between 616 Peter and Miles, I believe it's going to come into play in the MCU at some point down the line. I do. Now, we've already seen Into the Spider-Verse, and we've seen Miles team up with, older Peter. Now, I don't know specifically, maybe somebody, if you know this for a fact, I don't know if that older Peter was specifically 616 Peter, or if they're even following those bases in the Into the Spider-Verse animated franchise. They might just be doing their own thing. But I absolutely believe this can come into play in the MCU somehow. We got the multiverse coming. I don't know if that's how they're going to introduce Miles. We already know that Miles' uncle is a part of the MCU in the standard MCU universe that we know. So maybe Miles already exists there. You never know. But if there is a live action team up, regardless of what universe they're from, in the MCU, look for this book to really peak in demand. And it can drive this price up. So look, I think this book over the next 5 years, regardless of that, I think this is just a solid book to have that is going to slowly increase in value. And again, I'm not here to tell you what to buy, but this is another one where if I can get a near mint copy of this book for $20 or under, I would buy it all day, every day. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan anyways. So, again, love the character. Be willing to take the risk, of course. So, I'm very, very hopeful for this book to do good things in the future. All right, everyone, we have one more book today, and this is a big one. It is a hot one right now, and I think it's going to stay that way. And that is none other than a Star Wars book at number one. Kanan number one, the first appearance of Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridger, Sabine Wren, and Zeb. I don't really know how to say Zeb's last name. Aurelios, did I say that right? For all you big Star Wars heads out there, look, so much Star Wars mania. I've said this in videos in the past when I'm doing these top books to invest in videos. I could do a video just about Star Wars books, and I probably will in the near future. Star Wars is just something else right now, and I don't think it's a fluke. I don't think it's a bubble. I think it's absolutely here to stay. Let's just look at these numbers and what this book has been doing already. CGC 9.8 fair market value sitting at $313. Again, probably skewed because this book continues to increase in value almost every day. You got a high raw sale, $350. Average raw sale, $154. So, look, you got characters coming from the Star Wars Rebels animated series, and we know what they're doing with the live action. And I don't think anything has been confirmed, but there's a lot of talk about Kanan getting either his own show or showing up in some form or fashion in a live action. And I absolutely think it's inevitable because we know what Disney and Lucasfilm is doing right now with the Star Wars live action stuff breaking off of Mandalorian. They're going to build this universe. They're going to absolutely build this universe up. So I don't see this book slowing down. I mean, if we get some kind of a real announcement, this is one of those where this book is going to go crazy. I mean, you can look at the numbers and already say this book is already going crazy. Like, take for example, if these numbers are what they are today, and tomorrow we get an announcement for a Kanan show, all right, we get an official announcement, Kanan show set, for 2023 or something like that on Disney Plus. These numbers, in my humble opinion, with a snap of a finger, are going to double. That's my humble opinion of it. But if that doesn't happen, if we're still, waiting 6 months, maybe a year out before we get any news of anything happening, I still believe that this book can continue to increase. Might have a bit of ebb and flow there. It just depends on what the next Star Wars Disney Plus series are going to do, if there's going to be any Easter eggs and things like that. But I look forward to this book continuing to increase in value over the next 5 years, especially if we get Kanan in a live action role. So that's my 5 books for you all today. So, I mean, we had some books that are already decently big books that I think can continue to grow. We have some other books that are more, I don't know if you want to call them sleeper books, but look, they're affordable. You could spend maybe $20 and get a copy in a high grade and sit on it and see what you might be able to do with it. Let me know what you all thought of the 5 books that I picked today in the comments below. Before we go, I do got to give a big shout out to all my members of the channel. First and foremost, to my Patreon members. Thank you so much again, month after month. If anyone is interested in possibly supporting the channel by becoming a Patreon member, that link is below as well. It's $3.99 a month. You get extra perks monthly. I do a monthly Patreon-only Q&A where you can ask me as many questions as you want, and I will go into detail answering those questions, whether it's tips to the hobby, investing tips, whatever it may be. Absolutely anything, I will answer your questions. I do one patron suggestion video a month as well. I do patron-only giveaways where you guys, as patrons, are automatically entered into those contests. And I also do a monthly cover feature on my YouTube channel where if you submit cover themes for the month as a patron, I will show them off on a YouTube video or in one of my Friday Night live streams. So big shout out to all my current patron members: Timothy, Ramsey versus Comics, Kenneth, Rich, Tony, Marty, Jesse, Larry, Serge, Michelle, Jacob, Tyler, Keith, Jeremy, Michael, Jeff, Tricky Clicky, Phillyborn, Alvin, Fletch, Joshua, Pedro, Peter, Joji, Larissa, Sagi, Dan, Bishner, and Simon. Thank you all so much. And again, I put in every dollar that I earn from my patron supporters back into my channel one way or the other. I also have to give a big shout out to all of my YouTube channel members. So this is only $1.99 a month. If you guys are interested in joining that, you can click that join button that is below. You do get perks, not as much as a patron member, but you all get the chance to submit those covers of the month, the cover themes of the month as well, just like the patrons, while I'll show off your books on either a video on YouTube or on my Friday night live streams. You get automatic entry into all of my YouTube contests, and that even includes possible extra entries into my YouTube contest. You get also access to special emojis and membership badges. So, again, thank you to all of my YouTube members: Goonish Lurker, Josh Z, Louis Logix, Arthur, Comic Toby, Charlie, Luis, Peter, Blackout Comics, B-Moy, Tony, and Chris. Again, thank you all so much for the wonderful support. Guys, remember, it's A1 Wednesday. Check them out. Live sale tonight. IG. Information is below. Click them. Follow them. See you there. Thank you all so much again for watching. Be well, and until next time.